Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to tell you how to show your love towards your teenager. Yes, often as parents we love our children. But what happens is our children don't feel that love. Unfortunately, they get triggered or they reject us most of the time. They don't agree to what we say. It all happens because they don't feel the love that we show them. So how do we show that? Before we proceed, if you haven't yet subscribed my channel, do subscribe and press the bell icon so that you get all the updates and get insightful videos like this. Now coming back to this topic. The first thing that we all as parents have to do is to respect our children. And how do we respect? Of course, all of us respect our children, we know that. But how do we show that respect? If you have noticed carefully, when we try to introduce ourselves to somebody, a stranger perhaps, how do we do it? We usually say, hello sir, good afternoon, or we greet them and we introduce ourselves first. Myself, Kaneez Fathima, and would you like to tell your name please, or may I know your name please? It's a seeking of permission that we do. But how do we treat our children? If not my children, if I have to introduce myself to somebody else, or a small child, or we want to call a child and ask his name, how do we call it? Hey, come here. What's your name? Right? That's how we show that respect, right? Unknowingly, but we do this. The respect, we have been wired in that way, and that's how we don't tend to show that respect. Also, when I say about respecting the personality, it means not just the personality, it also refers to the privacy. Respect his privacy also, because privacy is something that we all have to understand. It's very, very important for a teenager, because it's at that time teenager is self-conscious. It's highly self-conscious and they want their things to be confidential. So see that you maintain that confidentiality between your teenager and see that you maintain that trust. Secondly, how do we spend our time with children? Especially with a teenager, we tend to speak the way we want, or we want to speak about the topic that we want them to speak, or we spend time according to our choice. That is, maybe we are going to beaches, or maybe we are going somewhere to our relative's house and all that thing. So we feel that we are spending time. Exactly, the child doesn't feel, because he doesn't want that to be there. Now what happens is the child feels again rejected. He feels that he is not valued at home. So spend the time according to the child's desire. Maybe he wants to watch a movie with you, or he wants to go for a walk with you, something like that. Just do it for the sake of the child. The third is give his own space. That is, give him some time to think, to do certain things, to play and all that things. Sometimes it is common for a teenager to lock the door and be inside. It's just that they want to see themselves in the mirror and admire themselves. That's something common. Let them do it. Try to give them their own space. Number 4, to remind you that they are not adults. They are still young, they are still interdependent. Try to make them understand that it is okay to make mistakes, but we as parents cannot be very cruel when they do mistakes. We all have to be mindful, and we have to understand that the brain grows when the child is committing mistake and learning out of it. But if we try to bring that guilt in him for doing that mistake, lifelong the child has to regret for the mistake, which again lowers the self-confidence and self-esteem of the child. Fifth point is to be in touch, or it is like, having physical touch. It's very, very important. The basic need of the child is to have physical touch. So see that you pat the back, or maybe shake hand very often, and try to hug the child and say that I need you, or you are really awesome, or something like that. You just have to praise the child very often and start giving that physical touch. It's very, very important. Number 6, how to say no. Of course, we have to directly say no when children are demanding for certain things that we ought not to give. But how do we say that? We need to tell them indirectly. That is, they don't want any advices. It has to be in the form of a suggestion. Now the child is telling that I want to go for a party. How can we suggest something else? Is it okay if we can delay this for a while and then maybe, or you can you ask this friend of yours to come along with you? Or maybe I would suggest not to go for it. What do you say? What do you think about it? So these things, what happens? The child is forced to think and understand the situation rather than abruptly telling them don't do it. So automatically the child starts thinking. Okay, so he feels like taking your suggestions also. And the last point is very, very important. Pray for your child. Pray for his friends, his future, his dreams, his character. It's very, very important as a parent for all of us to keep praying so that our destination is changed only through prayers. I firmly believe that. So let us be mindful about all these things and show our real love to our children.